Right, so let's have a look at setting up a new company file in Xero. So when you purchase your Xero license, and you go to open it up, it'll take you straight into a wizard, which will take you through these different menus under the general settings menu. So I'll just take you through each one of these and give you some tips on how to get started with Xero. So first of all, it'll take you into this organization settings window. Once you're in there, this is where you set up your company name. You'll be able to upload your logo. You enter your organization type, ABN, address, that kind of thing. So if you're not sure of any of these, you can leave them blank at this stage, and you can always come back to them and edit them at a later date. These fields are used throughout the software. Once you're actually using Xero, they'll actually feed through. For example, when you're raising an invoice, it'll take your ABN and your address from these fields and use those on your invoice fields. So like I said, you can change those at a later date. So I'll just cancel out of there for this demonstration. Next, it'll take you into your financial settings. So in here, this is where you select what financial year end you want your company file to start with. So in Australia, the default is set to June. That's when our tax year ends. So that's what most people will use. Some countries run a different financial year, and they may end in December or even March. So you can edit that at this stage if you like. Then you'll go and you'll be able to lock period dates. So this is really important. If you've finished a BAS for a period and you've got multiple users to the Xero file, you don't want anyone coming in and changing transactions in that period anymore. So you can actually go and lock the periods here so that no more transactions can be entered in those periods. Here we enter your activity statement settings. So you'll choose whether you're on accrual or cash, put in your tax file number, choose whether you're quarterly or monthly for your GST and your PAYG. I'll cancel that. Next, it'll take you into your invoice settings. So this is where you can actually set up your templates for your invoice. So you'll actually be able to set up and play around with your margins and everything. There's a default invoice in there which will actually use the logo that you uploaded at the start. So you can go through there. I'll just leave that at this stage because there's obviously you can spend a lot of time playing around with the format of that invoice. So I'll just leave that for this stage, for this example. Next, it'll take you into the users area, where this is where you'll be able to actually invite other users to use the file. So you can actually give your accountant access, you can give your other staff access, and once you've actually set those users up, you'll be able to limit what they're available to do. So if you have a staff member that's a junior clerk and you just want them to help out with some data entry, you can set them up so that all they have access to is just entering in either invoices or whatever you're getting them to enter, but they won't be able to actually run any reports or anything. So that's the area that you do that. Next, it'll take you into the currencies area. So down here, so if you've got multi-currency, that's where you can put in which currencies you want to trade in there. If you're selling things overseas or importing and you have bills in the other currency, so that's this section here. And similar to the previous screens, if you're not sure of anything at this stage, don't worry, you can always come back and set up those areas at a later stage. Tax rates is next. So it'll come with default rates for GST being 10%. So it's really just if you've got any other taxes you want to add. So you can probably leave that for this stage as well. And after that, it'll take you into your chart of accounts. So, and this is where, if you chose to upload the default chart of accounts, you can come in here and you can actually edit those accounts as well. So it'll take you through the different tabs, your asset, liability, equity, expenses, revenue. And you can also, this is where you can set up your bank accounts, which will then lead on to the next step of setting up your bank feeds. You're also able to import your chart of accounts here. So if you're coming over from another system, MYOB or QuickBooks, you can actually import that chart of accounts directly through here. So that's basically it. That takes you through the basic steps of setting up Xero. Once you have that, you'll have a file that you can start working with. There's still, depending on whether you're coming from another system or whether you're starting from scratch, you'll still have a few steps to do. You'll have to enter your opening balances. You might want to import all of your cards for all of your suppliers and your customers and your payroll. So there's still a few steps to do there, but at least this will get you set up and have a file to start working with. So we'll finish this tutorial there, and I'll cover those steps in more detail in subsequent tutorials. Give us a call if you have any queries. Tim Johnston at booksonsite.com.au. Thanks.